And welcome back to another edition of 10 Count. This is Steve Kim, joined by Ken Miller and Dave Smith. We're here at Hollywood Smoke in the city of Santa Monica. Guys, a heavyweight battle has been wrapped up April 25th at the famed Madison Square Garden. Klitschko, the real champion, against Bryant Bye Jennings. Ken, does Jennings have any real shot? And judging by your laughter, I guess that means no.
No, he absolutely doesn't have any shot. For everything, look, you could say what you want to say about Klitschko. This guy is a masterful boxer. No one has been able to figure out the Rubik's Cube since Layman Brewster got to his chin. And he can crack, you know, with both his left and right hand. Right now, it's Klitschko against the world. You can pull a lottery out, and I don't think anybody in the heavyweight division is going to be able to beat him.
Well, that's a good nickname for him, Bye-Bye, because he's going bye-bye coming up when he fights Wladimir Klitschko. But, and after that, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Wilder and Klitschko can't happen, right, because of the HBO Showtime thing, and I don't think Wilder's people would allow it to happen as well. But what do you think happens, though, if Wladimir gets hit on the chin? You don't, if you have a glass jaw, you always have a glass jaw. Somebody's going to tap him on the chin eventually, don't you think?
There's no doubt, but we've been saying that since, 2004 when Brewster got him. I was there that night. Mm-hmm. You know,
Me too.
beating Klitschko, hitting him on the chin is easier said than done. As you call it, the Rubik's Cube, there's this big telephone pole coming out at you.
Correct.
And the one thing about Klitschko, he is a master clincher. He's one of the best I've ever seen at locking a guy up and controlling distance and spacing and then finishing off a guy. But I look at this matchup as what I would call the quintessential European heavyweight against the American athlete. Bryant Jennings did not get into a boxing gym till age 25. And adding on to that, he's only fought once or twice in the last 18 months. So here's a guy that needs a steep learning curve to deal with, who hasn't fought a lot. He left main events, now he's with Rock Nation. I think this is not necessarily a title shot. I think in many ways, guys, I don't want to be completely cynical about it. I think it's a cash out. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we talk about Klitschko's chin, but these shots that he was getting caught with were shots he didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Now he sees everything coming. So if you catch him with a shot now, he can take it a lot better because he's so leery of being hit to begin with. Not to say that he wasn't before, but when he fought Layman Brewster, he was coming off of two really horrific performances. He was made to order for a knockout. I don't think anybody's going to get close to Klitschko right now.
And
not even Wilder.
And Dave, here's another issue. Bryant Jennings is a good athlete, but by today's heavyweight standards, he's not all that big. And Dave, he's never been a puncher.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunate he's being rushed into this probably. And you look back, in other eras, where would Bryant Jennings be in the heavyweight division?
He'd probably be a
sparring
journeyman.
partner.
Right. Well, speaking of that, with Klitschko, there's always been that argument: is Klitschko, based on his record, which is impressive, the level of consistency in your guys' mind, is he top 10 all time?
He's the absolute greatest German heavyweight champion in the history of the sport.
Better than Max Schmeling?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the greatest German. He's a German champion.
He's really Ukrainian. Yeah, he's Ukrainian.
Whatever. He's a Ukrainian champion. Look, unless you can't blame him for the abysmal talent in the heavyweight division, but he promotes himself. He's the Al Heyman of the heavyweight division. He chooses to fight whoever he wants to fight, when he wants to fight him, and where he wants to fight him. I mean, boxing really has some tremendous, and we've been saying this for a lot of times, and for whatever reason, boxing is like always on the respirator, but gets off the respirator. But I think the next 8 to 10 months is going to be really critical in the sport of boxing.
Can you be top 10 of all time if you get knocked out by Corey Sanders?
And Ross
Layman
Purity?
Brewster and Ross Purity? I don't think so.
Really? That right there, the stuff that happened over a decade
Corey
ago
Sanders.
is that permanent stain.
I would think so. That didn't happen. That didn't happen to the greats. Did they get knocked out by journeymen like that?
Yeah, Dave, you are a true historian, especially as it relates to the heavyweight division. Is this the weakest era of heavyweight boxing since Joe Louis?
Yeah, I think it's the weakest that I've seen. Absolutely. You got guys like Berman Stavern has a piece of the heavyweight championship. He'd be a sparring partner in the 70s and in the 90s as well, that era of Holyfield and Tyson and all those guys. Where's Berman Stavern in that era?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this I would say, invigoration of the heavyweight division and the reinvestment of HBO, because they are bringing back Klitschko. They want him back in the States. Guys, that's all well and good. Who are his dance partners?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean,
Well, his dance partners are in Germany.
right.
His fan base, HBO's lost the window of Klitschko. He's been abroad way too long for him to be a brand here in the United States of America.
He could fight his brother.
His brother.
That's big time, right? You know the kind of ratings that would get in the numbers?
Kane versus Abel 2.0.
absolutely.
All right. Well, that's it for this edition of 10 Count. On behalf of Ken Miller and Dave Smith, this is Steve Kim saying till the next round, goodbye, everybody.